Hello everybody and welcome to yet another episode of Banter Blitz with me. My name is Jan Gustafsson. I'm still a chess grandmaster because these titles, they can't take them away from you. They're for life. It's a life sentence with that title, the GM thing, unless they come up with a new title, which many people say they should do because nowadays there's all these grandmasters, so the title has gotten devalued a bit. So they are talking about introducing some super grandmaster title. I didn't plan this intro, by the way. I just started talking. I think I'm in favor of the super grandmaster title as long as I can make it. If I can't make it, of course, I am against it. What else is going on? My 15 minutes of basketball fame appear to be over. It's very sad. I was getting all these notifications on Twitter and now they're gone. It's such a fast-paced world. So in my last show? I think my last show. I predicted basketball trade. I didn't really predict it. I said it's probably not going to happen. And then it happened overnight. So I got the dream. I got to live the dream. Mainstream media exposure. But it's over now. And we're back here until I make the next prediction. I feel a lot of pressure. I feel like Paul the... What's his name? Paul the Kraken? And I have a feeling probably I can't just say, oh yeah, Mayweather's gonna win and then act like I'm clairvoyant. It would have to be something good. But if I start taking too many chances, people might figure out that I'm just talking for thousands of hours and say random things. Anyway, having said all that, this is Banter Blitz, show number 98. If you are a Chess24 premium member, you can challenge me to a lovely game of 5-minute chess, and I might accept your challenge. I normally give slight preference to the noobs, not the noobs by rating, but the new premium members. But I'm trying to mix it and play whoever I feel like playing, really. That is the formula, and it will not change. So challenge me to a game of 5-minute chess. We'll have a grand old time. And we will start right here, right now. With... who's that guy? Domrohovsky? Is that your name? There he is. Domrohovsky. I'm familiar with Dom Toretto and the Dominican Republic, or Domrep, as we say in Germany. Domrohovsky, I'm guessing, is short for Dominic Rohovsky. Am I mispronouncing your name? Is it Rohowski? We are playing another Slav defense, popular opening these days. And even though this is frowned upon in today's society, I am still a fan of the Slav exchange. Or maybe they call it the exchange Slav. Here, after bishop f4, knight to c6 is more popular than bishop f5. I'm not sure if there's anything wrong with bishop f5, but I'll try to punish it by going queen to b3. ASAP Rocky. If he goes queen b6, I probably can go knight takes d5. By the way, I have this habit of showing potential lines with the mouse. Is it annoying or is it helpful? I have a feeling it might be more annoying than helpful. So queen here, knight here, queen here, knight here. Maybe I should stop doing that and just yell out the moves so you guys learn to figure out which square is where. Like b6, b6. It's up there. Now I pointed it without using the mouse. It's probably not how computers work. Anyway, the move seems to have had its effect on Domrohovsky. It's taking a bit of time here. Maybe calculating queen b6, knight takes d5. Which I'm not sure about if it's good for me. I have a feeling it might not be good for me. So let's do this in our heads, shall we? Queen b6, knight takes d5, knight takes d5, queen takes d5, pawn to e6, queen to b3, bishop b4 check, bishop to d2, bishop takes d2 check, king takes d2, queen takes d4 check, and Jan would be very, very sad. So what we've learned from this very beautiful variation is that after queen b6, I should not take on d5. But instead, I would have to take on b6, exchange queens, and maybe be slightly better because of his double pawns. He does go queen b6, and I've just figured out what to do about it. Now that we've got here, what is next? Knight b5? Is knight b5 a move? I'm curious if after knight b5 he can go rook to a5. Counter-attacking, so I can't take on b8 so easily. Of course, knight a6 would be the normal reply, but then I could argue this knight is a little misplaced. But still, I'll just do the normal, go e3. White is a little better in these endgames, typically, because of his double pawns. Really not that much more to it. I have a feeling I might have had the position after e6, knight h4 at some point in a tournament game. I'm not sure it's the exact position, but I have a feeling I've had something very, very similar in a game against Leonid Kritz, maybe? No, he played knight d7 first. It was something like e6, maybe a3, then knight d7, which was a little slow, and knight h4. Or e6, bishop b5, knight d7. That's probably it. I believe that is my game. e6, I went here, and he went here, which I think was too slow. And now I went with the horsey to the edge of the board, which some people say one should not do, because a knight on the rim is dim. And of course I could not agree more, but I could also not agree more with a bishop must get caught before it can commit voter fraud. I believe that is the other common saying. And here, this knight only had the purpose of exchanging itself for that bishop. And mission accomplished. So white is better because he has bishops and black still has a double pawn. Having said all that, Dombrowski has not committed any major crimes yet. And whatever advantage I have is still not fatal by any means. I'm going to prepare e4. I'm not sure I really want to do it next move already, but at least put it on the map. And Rokater is asking, why not knight takes d5, b4? I spent most of the show talking about that. Weren't you listening in, Rokater? Knight d5, queen d5, e6, queen b3, bishop b4 check, all that stuff. In case you're wondering, who am I talking to? Why am I staring there? It is the chat on Chess24, where our beloved friends like Unknown Identities are saying stuff like, hello everybody. That is what Unknown Identity said. Then Carl Neering is saying the stream is a mess so far. That's bad news. Why do we get all these stream mess complaints recently? That would be a great pity to the Banter Blitz. That sentence. I can't land that train wreck of a sentence. Can you land a train wreck, really? Let's focus on the chess. I went for e4, and Dombrowski has prepared a counter blow in the form of knight takes d4. He wants to pin me by going bishop c5. But I did spot that, and I can unpin, playing bishop f2, when he has nothing better than takes on d4. Now I do get two bishops for a rook and a pawn, which is a very, very fair return on investment. So white is pretty much winning here. Carnering is saying the eclipse has ruined the stream. I doubt that. How does this eclipse thing work? Like, I'm not in the United States of America, so I think we were eclipseless. You stare into the sun and then you're told don't stare into the sun directly, but you do it anyway, and then the sun gets blacked out. Say, I'm highly educated on all topics. Solar eclipse. But I am highly educated on night forks, and therefore Dombrowski resigns Thanks for the game, Dom. As I said, knight d7 a little slow. I believe bishop b4 is a funny line here. Knight e5, knight e4, knight c6, knight c3, knight b4, knight b5. And you're very close to equality. But that's not a big surprise in the exchange Slav. Still, I would not play these queen b6 lines. I would play somebody else, however. What about Hipase? Hip ace? Hipase? Let's play the good old Trompovsky. He goes knight e4. I'm more of a d5 man myself, but knight e4 has and will always be one of the most principled moves. Black just avoids the exchange on f6. And now he goes e6. Interesting. There was some weirdness around lines like e6, f3, bishop d6. Might or might not be Hipase's point. I don't want to find out, so I'll go knight d2, which looks like a natural reaction to e6 as well. Knight f6, he's giving me a lot of freedom in the opening, which I enjoy. Normally in the Trompovsky you don't get to occupy the center like this without making some concessions, such as giving up the two bishops, or even worse, giving up a pawn on d4. Here after c5, I'm not 100% sure what to do. c3 does strike me as natural enough, and I can't see any direct downside, so I'll do that. Very greedy play by Mr. Hipase. Queen b6. I could go knight c4, then he has bishop b4 check, sort of a theme we've seen in the other game. Even though after king e2 the position is funnily not clear at all. Or I could man up and develop some pieces, give him a pawn, which with a very heavy heart I shall do. Even though you all know how I feel about pawns. Hipase, however, does not put his money where my b2 pawn is. And so goes bishop b4, which seems at odds with his previous play. Like, having done all this, I think you had to take on b2, which might have ended terribly, I'm not sure. But this setup just strikes me as bad. Now he has to take on d2. Or hang on. Yeah, because I might be able to go knight takes d2, I thought, but nah, queen takes looks far more natural. And has to be said, he made it out of the opening kind of alive, even though black is seriously worse. And I have my choice of tempting moves to play. I played bishop g5 to provoke knight bd7 because I thought this would slow down his development. You can't go knight c6, bishop d7 with the knight on d7. And I didn't see how black wanted to do this. Maybe he has to play e5, but it's not very pretty. He goes rook e8 to prepare e5. I have so many options, which can be a blessing or a curse. Let's harass his queen a bit, just to get started. I don't think you can allow me to play a5, so if black has to play a5 himself, then bishop b5 becomes an option. Probably not immediately because of the e4 pawn, but in the near future. If he goes a6, then a5 was coming anyway. So yeah, he did this as expected. But it's not a pretty sight, or at least I was hoping it's not. Still, gotta get the job done first. This move looks so natural. I haven't really figured out how I'm gonna react to ed4. I'm just going with my gut that there has to be something good. Worst case scenario, I can go bishop takes f6, which looks plenty good actually. Point is ed bishop f6. If knight f6, I can take the rook. I believe it's called a rook on e8. And if gf, well, the position is just too ugly to even look at. Queen takes h6 or whatever. So yeah, it's not a pleasant position for black, clearly. But, come on, g5. I don't like to sacrifice, but even I have limits of how much I can take. You cannot tell me that you will get away with these sins, my dear friend Hipase. How do I do it, though? Take here, maybe? Is to take with the knight. And then the usual follow-up of something good, hopefully. Maybe some rook swing. Rook c3, intending rook g3. Let's find out. Maybe check first was more precise, but this looked decent as well. Knight f8, I guess. Ugh, still calculating to do. Why? Rook e6. Did not see that coming. Probably should have seen it coming. Rook h3 maybe. Not so easy. Feeling I'm slightly on my way to Bungletown. There still has to be great compensation. Probably I'm still in good shape objectively, but it doesn't feel like I've been extracting the max here. Still, it's a fun position. We'll find out what happens. My next order of business is probably to go bishop h6 check, but it heavily depends on Hipase and his next move. Knight f6 looks interesting. Maybe bishop f6. Ugh. It's all way too complicated for me. Who am I kidding? Maybe knight f6, just queen h4. d5, whoa. Don't know what to do. No time left either. So, gut feeling it is. Now, bishop f6, first of all, is a big threat. And secondly, I took a lot of pawns with my initiative still ongoing. So I can afford to not checkmate him directly. Not that that's the plan. Still want to checkmate you, Hipase. And I also will apologize eventually for horribly mispronouncing your name all the time. But not before I checkmate you. This is checkmate. Next move. So a good end, but not a very convincing attacking phase. Starting after g5. I was very pleased with myself, as I tend to be. In the first half of the game. Until g5. And here g5. There must be some fairly direct win connected with sac mate. But I almost bungled it by, playing very weirdly and slowly, and here I wasn't so sure what was happening anymore. Even though I guess my initiative is still strong. Anyway, thanks for the game, Hipase. It was fun. Shall we play another one? How about this guy? Mr. What is it? Crom Master? From Croatia. It is time for chapter 5 of my very exciting love affair with the Mora gambit. But he gave me the pawn back already. Now I can see why this would tilt Mora gambit players. I'm always telling them, this is the best thing that could possibly happen to you. Now, instead of being a pawn down, you have equal pawns and the Maroczy bind. So you should be extremely happy. But they feel like, ugh, this is so boring. I don't get to sacrifice a pawn and put all my pieces on the squares where I learned they're going. Bishop to c4, knight to c3, short castles, queen to e2, rook to d1, bishop to f4. And therefore I have to play myself, and I might not checkmate my opponent directly. And now that I'm on Team Mora, I fully understand where you've been coming from all these years. My dear Mora friends. Not sure where to put the pieces. Black should go knight d7, knight c5, or knight d7, knight de5. But for me, not so obvious. I'm not sure I like bishop e6 because I don't think he's in time to create any play against the c4 pawn, rook c1 and b3. It's useful stuff for me anyway. Now I'm not fully on board with black's piece placement because knight d5 will be very awkward to meet as well. So instead of bishop e6, I would probably have preferred an immediate knight d7. Rook e1, bit of a random move, but I'm mentally at least preparing for knight to d5, queen d2, let's say bishop takes d2, then something takes d5, e takes d5, and my rook on e1 would make some sense. At least that's the hope. What's happening? My phone is doing something. Oh. Chess24.com tweeting shameless plugs, which aren't even true. It says more crushing and more NBA predictions from Jan Gustafsson. No more NBA predictions today. I know to rest on my laurels for a day or two before sticking my neck out again. Oops, no, don't remove that. See, I got very distracted. So knight d5. If he takes on d2, I have a Zwischenschach, as we call it, in the business. An intermediate check, knight takes e7, king h8, and then I can recapture. Hence, a word I never really understood. Hence, he could not take, and he had to go all the way back. But now queen b4 looks at least annoying, and that's the moral of the show. If you can't be funny, then at least be annoying, is what I always tell myself. And queen b4 certainly does meet that objective. I don't see anything better than bishop takes d5, probably c takes d5. Let's say rook takes, and yeah, it's a little unpleasant for black. Not over, but not fun either. Queen d7. You're giving up too much. Cleveland style. I'll take. Now I make an exchange and a pawn up. Yeah. It's pretty much game over, really. Whenever I say, now I'm an exchange and a pawn up, you can go get a coffee. Or maybe a tea. Some people say that's healthier than coffee. And we get a bit of a kamikaze. Is that the word? I always get confused with kamikaze, harakiri, and desperado. So a bit of a desperate attack by Crummaster. Bishop takes h3. I'll play the most annoying move, which, if I had a broader vocabulary, I would not have to say annoying all the time. But I don't. Therefore, I will play the annoying little bishop to e2, controlling the g4 square. stopping, really, any hope Crommaster might have had of staying in the game, because I'm simultaneously attacking his queen. Therefore, his queen has to move. And if it leaves this diagonal, I'll just go gh3 with an extra rook. While if it stays on it, I only see the e6 square. And queen e6 is quite well met by rook to d6. Once again, forcing the queen to abandon her post. Bishop f8 is another legal move, but then rook takes e6, bishop b4, bishop takes f6 check, and I will have captured more than Crommaster can handle. Carnering is very harsh on me, and especially my hair. He's saying bad hair day, Jan. But kind of a Kelvin, as in Kelvin and Hobbes look. I don't know. I have to disagree with you, Carnering. I have to stand up for my hair. This is a fantastic hair day, and I will not be shamed by you into thinking differently. How dare you? a5, Crommaster is trying to distract my pieces. I don't know, anything wins. It's so hard to decide when anything wins. But if in doubt, take as many of your opponent's pieces as you can get. And then proceed. What else do we have? I'm reading the chat while grabbing pieces, which really is living the dream. Eel Roll is saying, Jan, you are going to play 3-on-3 basketball versus Magnus, Peter Heine Nielsen, and LeBron James. Which GM and which NBA player would you choose for your team? Interesting. Very interesting question. So their team is fairly well balanced because they have Peter Heine, who can protect the basket and is just hard to move for us normal people. He's a tall presence there. While Crommaster resigned because bishop s6 followed by gh. It's not very interesting. They have Magnus, who's sort of a ball dominant, offensive minded guard type of player. Bit of your Kyrie Irving, and they have LeBron James, who's the best player in the world, which is sort of, arguably, sort of unfair. So anyway, which GM and which NBA player would you choose for your team? NBA player, I have to choose Kevin Durant. I don't think that's particularly close. And Grandmaster is much trickier. I don't have a full overview about Grandmaster's basketball talent level. Of the guys I've played with, the best was Alexander Grishuk. He's a tall guy, he can shoot. He's a good player. So might have to go with Grishuk, even though then we wouldn't really have a ball handler. Because, actually, Durant can handle the ball. Like, what are we doing there? We'll just stand around. But I'm not sure. I might have to get back to you on the GM question, on the which GM question. I'm not sure. Let's play another game of chess. Excellent question, Euro. Maybe I need some Kyrie Irving type of guy. Then, because Heine, I don't think Heine can shoot, so we shouldn't worry too much about defending Heine. Defending LeBron, do I need? Durant, I don't know. It's very tough. Also the GM part, I might, Maybe you need some smaller guy, some Levon type. Plays a lot of basketball. I don't know. So hard to get this right. What I can get right is I can crush Marius Kolac while we keep playing. Cardinal Superblind says Curry and Grish. Yeah, I don't know. Don't I need a guy like the size of LeBron? I have a feeling I might need Mr. KD to sort of neutralize LeBron. Carlson Superlight says Nielsen would shut down LeBron. No, Nielsen and LeBron are on the same team. So I have to worry about dealing with both. Then again, Magnus. Since Nielsen works for Magnus, Magnus will probably make Nielsen set screens for him all day long. And that might wear him out. Question is, would Magnus screen for LeBron? I don't know. I have a feeling there could be some power dynamics in their team, which we could use to our advantage. Like all these best player in the world thing. We wouldn't have any of that, but there would be a lot of harmony. No, that's actually not true. My ego is just as big. I just don't have as many reasons to have such a big ego. And while we're playing the Grunfeld defense against Mariusz Kolac. Mariusz Kolac? Also, I just implied the guys have big egos. I don't actually know that. Man, this question will keep me up forever. Nah, but I think KD and Grishuk, we would crush them. I'm terrible at basketball. I'm not sure if I've mentioned that. I am not terrible at Grunfeld Indian, however. Bishop d3 is not the main move here. The main line is rook to c1, when there used to be a lot of fun and games in these. Anyway, next time. Bishop d3, why is it not the main move? Looks fairly natural. My guess is that after knight c6, it's not so easy for white to make a move because he will want to castle. d5 is a bit of a blunder. But you would want to castle. And then after c takes d, queen takes d2, the d4 pawn is dropping. d5 you can't play, and that's why normally you need to play rook c1 first. Apologies for the slow roll, I just wanted to explain. But d5 you lose the queen after bishop takes c3, which is very, very unpleasant. And therefore Mariusz resigns quickly. Sorry, Mariusz. Alright. Who shall we play next? Our old friend Skibby, FIDE-master Skibby. FM Skibby. I've played Skibby before. I'm sure we've talked about Skibby's Deadpool avatar. Doesn't look like Skibby has found another movie he likes since Deadpool came out. He's saying, no, Ryan Reynolds in a mask is my avatar for good. There has been nothing funnier. There has been nothing more meta. There's been nothing more breaking down the fourth wall. And there never will be. So what I will do is stick with Deadpool smiling down on my opponents. And who can blame him? Like, wouldn't it be strange if Skibby all of a sudden he switched and had like a Wonder Woman avatar? We would think, what happened to Skibby? Wasn't he the guy who played the Catalan? Which, yeah. Opponents, everybody hates facing the Catalan because it's so solid, and normally guys that play Catalan, they know theory, which is very upsetting. And yeah, it's just an opening that tilts me instantly, even though I'm a big expert and I wouldn't run into problems after bishop e7. I know how to equalize against the Catalan. I've done a video series. It's just hard to do that in Banter Blitz every game, so I tried to mix it, and then my mixing normally leads to me playing dca6 all the time. It's not really mixing. You know, you can hear. I'm greatly frustrated by your choice of Catalan already, Skibby. 95, however, is a bit more fun than I was hoping for. Now, c5 is the old line. Bishop b4 check is arguably even more critical. The greedier line. In my days, I once lost a very bad game to Lev Sachis after bishop e3, where I did something very badly. Wow, really? Bro vocabulary. Tremendous vocabulary by yours truly. Anyway, bishop e3, not critical. Knight a3, I also had some games. I wish I could ever remember anything. There's rook a7 here, or bishop to c5. Can't remember. Bishop c5. It's a bit more natural of a move. Then rook to a7. I believe, and once again I could be wrong. Is this the line which I played against Berkish? I once won for my standards, nice game against Berkish. It might have been this line, but then again, it might not have been. Bishop g5, is that what you're supposed to do, Skibby? Maybe it is. Yeah, I've seen games with bishop g5 actually. Okay, I won't be able to tolerate that pin for very long, so I gotta break it. Break it till you make it. White clearly has compensation, but as long as queen a4? Are you winging it, Skibby? Are you just pretending to know what you're doing here? Because I will sniff out potential blunders. But maybe it's not a blunder, because I want to go b5, obviously. But then queen to b4, b takes c, queen takes c4, and my poor compadre on a8 is trapped. I'm also not sure if that's the end of the story. Interesting stuff by Skibby-Doo. Way too complicated for me. Why does everybody play such complicated moves all the time? If I go knight d7, do you want to take here? Knight d6 probably is the problem. Yeah? Out-prepared by Skibby. Then again, maybe not. Maybe. Too early to say. I'm very confused. Galactic is asking, is Jan going to comment on World Cup? I'm sure I'll be commenting one way or another. There's some questions that have still to be answered internally, like, is there an official English show that we can or cannot embed? Will I be commenting in German or English? Or do we have potential co-hosts? All that stuff. But I'll be doing something, that's for sure. Probably sounds like a threat, my usual weird verbal cadence. That's for sure. I shall be doing something. You can watch great expert commentary. I should try not to lose this bishop while I'm plugging my fantastic World Cup commentary, which might be easier said than done. Oh, Skibby, what have I done to deserve all of this? I must go here, which is very sad. I didn't want to do that. But I didn't see anything else. Problem is, if I play rook fd8, queen c7, like my bishops are hanging here. My proud bishops. While now after queen d8, first of all, knight e5 scares me a little bit. While, of course, he can also take and then take here and be slightly better while having won his pawn back, which is upsetting enough in its own right. I'll try to keep mixing it. So e5, if knight e5, rook b2, knight c6, rook d7, I didn't see any direct punishment, and e4 might be a nuisance. I won't back down, Mr. Skibby. Skip to my loo. f3 has the plus from my side that if the knight now moves with knight takes e5, I can go d3, discover check, which could be a bit of a nuisance. So b3 is a better move, but I still feel like I've gained some counterplay over the last two moves. e5. Not sure about rook b5. Rook e7 was maybe a little more solid, but I was tempted. d3 or rook e5? d3, king g2, de, rook e1, rook e5, rook e2. No, there's nothing there. So, do I have to go rook e5? I don't really want. Oh yeah, I don't see a trick. Great pity. Rook f4 is a mistake. Like rook to c7 or, well, many other options, but don't go rook f4. Bishop e3 will be painful, and even without bishop e3, I have a feeling at g5 as well. Something's gone wrong for Skibby. Okay, shall we keep it simple? Yeah, let's keep it simple. Let's have Dorian the d-pawn, run to the finish line. Therefore, Skibby resigns because he takes here d2. And P. Diddy, which is short for pawn d-file, would have won the day. Thanks for the game, Mr. Skibby. How's Eduardo Zaidan feeling today? That is the question I often ask myself. But I barely get answers to. Eduardo is a classical player. He likes to go e4, e5. As you should. What can I do? Let's play one classical Ruy Lopez. Once in my life. Knight takes e4. He's an open Spanish player. Can't really claim a lot of expertise in these shark-infested waters that are the open Spanishes. But we'll still make moves. How does this go? c3. Now d4 is the old main line, but these cool young millennials, they like playing bishop e7, bishop c2. Now d4, is that what you do? Is that your line, Eduardo? You can tell me. I have seen something like this before, even though I might have mixed it up. But I think not. I think not. Here, knight takes c5 is this kind of equal endgame, and bishop b1. It's these extremely weird positions that don't look good for white, but that still get played a lot at a high level. And I don't really know why. I don't know how to proceed. I don't know why this is supposed to be interesting for white. It looks ridiculous. But now that we're here, we might as well continue to make some moves. Bishop f4 or h3? I honestly don't know. I'm out of book. That's the problem with half knowledge. It's often not full knowledge. Having said all that, one good thing is that queen d5 can be met by bishop a2. And while white's position looks ridiculous now, it's not that easy for black to keep his d-pawn and to organize his position. Either a5 I'm going to have to take. Then I will take a long, hard look at knight d4 tricks. Actually, I'll just blitz it out and then think. But you know what I'm trying to say. I'm taking a long, hard mental look. b4, knight c4, bishop d3, knight b2. Would be awkward. My phone is ringing. Not gonna be able to answer. So what do? I take on b5? Looks like compensation then. Could also go b4, knight c4, knight c6, but does that lead me anywhere? I'm sorry, this is a much more complicated position than I initially thought it would be. Ugh. I'll take, but I'll be unhappy about it. That's okay. Yeah, this is not the pawn I wanted, but I couldn't make b4 or bishop takes d3 or anything I would have liked to do. Work, really. So, I took that. Queen b8, very deep. Queen here. What else is going on in the world? I'm never in touch with like world events, I have a feeling. Trying to read news, but nothing exciting. Air Berlin collapsed. That's all I have to say. Oh yeah, there's some story about Taylor Swift and snakes. Anybody out there know what that's about? That's a story I have not followed, but that sounds highly interesting. So what is going on with Taylor Swift and snakes? That is the only context I have. Please inform me. I'm counting on you here, Chess24 chat. Why did I miss c5? Probably I got distracted by the snake situation. Ugh, this gets messier. By the minute. Knight c4, bc, queen e6, bishop a2. Oof. Or even knight c4, bc, bishop takes c5. Queen takes c4, bishop takes e3, fe, queen e3, king h1. And something. He goes knight b7, which keeps material, but felt like a worse square at least. Yeah, c4 is another dumb move. I'm really playing badly in this game. The reason why I think it's dumb is that this knight on b7 was dominated, but it is dominated because after c takes b, I can always go c takes b, covering the c5 square. And having played c4, I gave up that option for good. And the upside, defending my knight, doesn't really feel worth it if he goes play, let's say queen c6. Then I won't be thrilled with my c4 decision. I'm afraid. Very competitive game against Eduardo Zaidan here. Calnering recently, like he's stopping by and then he's saying, nah, I'm out of here kids, you crazy kids have fun, I'm not sticking around to keep watching this train wreck. We like having you here, Carl, all these early departures. I'm not sure, what's the story with that? f6, I'm not sure what the story with f6 is either. I got too upset about Calnering's departure. Queen b3 is another stupid move. I'll just make moves and then curse myself instantly the moment I make that move. Do you say curse myself? That sounds a bit strong, doesn't it? Then blame myself, criticize myself, call myself out, complain, narcissistically whine, fake whine to hedge my bets should I ever lose a game, so I can say, yeah, but I told you already on move 19 I shouldn't have played c4. My grandmasterly foresight works against me too. I believe it's a bit of all these things that we say on our way to the inevitable outcome, which is winning on time against Mr. Eduardo. He played a good game. I still dislike the move knight b7 because it's just so passive. But until then, it was very interesting. What to do? Thanks for the game, Eduardo Zaidan. Alright, I have not received the information I was looking for from the chat regarding the Taylor Swift and Snakes situation. But here we have a link. Time Magazine. Read the full history of Taylor Swift and Snakes. So I hope you guys don't mind that we take like 10-minute timeout and read the whole history of Taylor Swift and Snakes. She's teased her upcoming 6th album with a series of 3 slinky clips of a slithering snake. Okay. It's not that exciting yet. I thought there was some real-life snake incidents. So there's some subtext. She's calling somebody a snake? Kim Kardashian tweeted about National Snake Day in a seeming reference to Swift. Oh boy. I believe there's a lot for all of us to figure out because these are important topics that we should be updated on. And I want to apologize to my viewers that I did not do my homework before the show because this is not the place to find out about Taylor Swift and snakes. It is my duty as a banter-tononist to inform you guys on such topics reliably, not having to look them up during the show. So I feel bad about this, just as bad as I will feel after crushing Lucas P 1005 and forever with the move e4. Carlson Superlight is asking, are you Team Swift or Team West? I know very little about Taylor Swift, which I just apologized for. But probably that makes me Team Swift. I enjoy Kanye's music. I listened to his new album. I like this ultralight beam business. But that's not the discussion here, right? I don't enjoy the Yeezy sneakers. I'm aware these are very weird tidbits of information. Isn't that kid called like Northwest? Kanye West, Kim Kardashian? They do have a kid that is first name North, last name West, right? I'm not making that up. So yeah, I think I'm Team Taylor on this one. But I lack all the details and all the snakery. H6 and A6, you're just gonna move all your flank pawns? I have a feeling that must be punished by opening the center. At least that's what I was told, Lucas P. If your opponent moves too many A and H pawns, you must crush him in the center. Is the first day of Hamburg Chess School. Second day is play the King's Gambit, so you better skip day 2. But day 1 is occupy the center. E5 or D5 are the natural follow-ups. I'll go D5 because after E5, maybe he can play D5 himself. And now is the time to push these pawns really deep into the heart of the position. So maybe let's think of these pawns as snakes on a plane and of the king on e8 as the pilot of said plane. See, the snakes are coming. They're not afraid to die. They're a bit like sand snakes from Game of Thrones, but much more lethal and a lot less annoying. Therefore, oh boy, this is another line of banter that will not be brought to its rightful conclusion. Mainly because I won't have time to pursue that thought any longer, since queen takes f7 checkmate is so near There's so little Lucas P can do about it. This is how they must have felt in the old days, like Anderson Dufresne. Probably Dufresne was a better player than Lucas P. No offense meant, Lucas P. This just here went wrong. And your moves h6 and a6, they're useful in Italians, but you really want to go d6 first. Just to stop me from crushing you in the center. Or at least, you can probably castle here, but then it already gets more murky. Because after d4 you don't want to take, you would have to go here, and okay, all of this stuff. It's already a bit messy, maybe I'm winning. So yeah, just go d6 and then do all your flank moves. Flanken Sie. What time is it? Still time. Still time for lots of banter. And for a crushing Heriberto 37. Heriberto below 1500. That makes me a favorite. But Heriberto might not be there, which would make me an even bigger favorite. There he is. He plays e4. I shall play c5. Knight f3. Maybe d6. This is the so-called dragon. Let's hope it's more of a Drogon than a Viserion, because we all know how that ended. Hang on. Probably I should have gone knight c6 a bit earlier, because no, doesn't matter. Knight takes c6, blitzed out by Heriberto. This only works if he has some very direct idea connected to it. Because on general grounds, you don't want to open the b file in front of your king. Should speed up your opponent's counterplay. So I think it's a dangerous game Heriberto is playing. And I'm aware he's probably not a favorite to win this game, but we still have to point out what I feel is going on. So knight takes c6. Now we can see this rook on the half-open b file is already a fairly menacing presence. And my initiative will grow fairly quickly. Queen a5, already threatening. Tricks like maybe knight takes e4, followed by knight e4, queen a2, queen a1. a3 is not helping either because I can just take it due to the half-open b file that Heriberto opened in front of his king. So yeah, you can see the dangers of having that file open, and you avoid all that trouble by just not taking on c6. Just play f3, g4, take it from there. Carlson Superlight is asking, is MVL the father of dragons? As far as I understood, dragons don't really have a father, right? I mean, we have the mother of dragons, breaker of chains, blah, 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 blah. But the father of dragons? Why would MVL be the father of dragons? He's a Night-Off player. So which reference am I not getting? Destroy 1305 is asking, why didn't Jan go knight g4 earlier? Yeah, actually that's why I said I probably should have played knight c6 earlier. Because if you do it here, then after long castles, I guess knight g4 is good. Even that could be debated. But the way I did it, castles, long castles, if I go knight g4 here, bishop g5, I don't really see what I've accomplished. Unless there's some cheapos here. Maybe there's some weirdness like f6. Bishop h4, bishop h6, is that a thing? Or e5 followed by bishop h6? Maybe something like that works. But generally, if knight g4 can be met by bishop g5, there's no direct trick, then black hasn't really achieved all that much. At least that's what I thought. Anyway, thanks for the game, Heriberto. And yeah, don't take on c6 after you've castled queenside. I'm sure there are some exceptions, but not many. Just go f3 here. Then go for g4, h4, h5. Checkmate them. Sack mate, as Fischer used to say. Alright, Let's find. Now their chess game. The good old chess games. Oh, Grandmaster. A Grandmaster pawn holder. Let's see if he can really hold all these pawns. I think I played pawn holder on a previous show. Is that Zlatko Ilincic? Yep, that is him. Goes knight f3, e6. Very subtle, e6, keeping his options open. c4, b6. He knows all the tricks in the book. And I don't even know which book it is. I'll play it safe. e4, I'm sure, is a legit move here as well. But I don't want anything to do with your sorcery, Mr. Pawnholder. I just want my king in safety. What is this? I'm sure it's some theoretical line. Knight c6 is not all that common in these positions. And maybe I should have started with d4 now that I look at it. I don't know. I'll just get my pieces out. The thing is now if I go d4, he would go knight d4, and I'm not sure I achieved all that much. Well, if I played it a move earlier when the bishop was still on c8, that wasn't so easy to accomplish. So yeah, I have a feeling here, I hesitated, but I think I should have gone d4 immediately. b3, bishop d6, really trying to win some creativity prizes today. All right, be my guest. I have very little ambitions. I just want to develop some pieces. Can I go d4 now? Looks fairly natural, does it not? Maybe he takes and goes bishop e5. Is that the point? We shall see. If knight d4, bishop g2. I'd probably just play king g2. I could go knight e6, but I don't see the point after de. So just king g2, cd, queen d4. He could go bishop c5, and I'm not sure I have achieved all that much, but white is normally slightly better in such things. Queen f4 or queen d3. Rook to the d file quickly. Black still has to show that he's fully equal there. So yeah, let's see what Pawnholder comes up with. He's spending some time here. Probably doesn't really want to take on d4. Just contemplating moves like queen e7. We will find out down the stretch. He does go knight d4, all right. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Now, where do I put my queen? Queen f4 looks fairly natural. Then probably queen c8 to go, queen b7, check. Yeah, it's a tiny bit better for white, but it's not exactly world beater material. Goes d5, so optimistic. Or maybe he's just less pessimistic than I am. Same thing. Anyway, I'll pin him. Not sure if I should have taken the other rook. But what's done is done. Bishop d6, this looks suspect. Don't you think this looks a little suspect, Mr. Pawnholder? Who knows? I'll go back. Bishop e5, or what's the point? Bishop back to c5. It's all too complicated for me, but I'll take. You might be called Pawnholder, but I have a bit of fame as pawn grabber. Some stuff to be calculated here. Ed knight d5, knight e4 doesn't really seem to work, so he goes queen e7. But now your pawn has been grabbed, has it not? Go d6, then queen b7, check. Yeah, not that clear. So I'll just take, I guess. My queen should be closer to Her Majesty, the king. Go to f3. Cover some squares, will you? Time to make some polite advances. I'm not sure about e4 actually. I disliked it the moment I did it, but that's a normal reaction for me. For most things. So it doesn't really mean it had to be a bad move or anything. It's just goes to show you that I'm a mess. But yeah, I'm not happy about my e4 move anymore. What to do? Queen e2, I'm drifting. Slow and bad for the last two moves. Really drifting big time. Time to speed up. Knight f2, I'm hoping I can get away with rook d2. If I can't, I would have to do something else, like knight to f4. Some Zwischenzug. Yeah, let's do that, because queen h3 really was a bit of a nuisance, as I like to say. So queen c6, I have to pin him, I guess. Ugh, chaos. Why can't I just convert my pawn? Like a normal person. Why do we need all this drama, Mr. Pawnholder? Another annoying move. I thought the job was done. But he keeps coming back for more. Ugh, this is very unpleasant actually. Took me forever to come up with this queen d4, which I hope works. Of course, it's a bit scary to have my king over there. He keeps hanging in there. Materially, I'm doing very well, but the rook is very active, which is quite annoying. e6 was another panicky decision. Oh boy. Showing off. No, now I'm lost. I made it from a totally winning position to a dead lost position. Yay me. Congrats, pawnholder. Now I'm steaming badly. Oh, rook f3. Okay. Oh boy. Good game, pawnholder. That was dumb. Like even the endgame was still sort of winning, I thought. But he continued posing problems, so kudos to him. Because at various points I thought here the job was done really, because e6 was coming, but he kept finding chances with this queen c5. And in the end I just collapsed, like when he took my a2 pawn. I'm not sure, somewhere around here when I realized things aren't easy. I panicked. Yeah, things aren't easy. Still holds true, but still, white should at least be fine. Maybe a3 or a4. What to do? Shout out to Pawnholder. Good game. No shout out to me. Bad game. Bad, Jan. Bad. You know who will have to bear the full wrath of Jan? It's Mr. Copernicus 15. Because now, just a pawn up. Now I'm steaming, as predictably. I lose one game, I start steaming. It's not that complicated. I'm not this beautiful little puzzle of a psyche. It's very simple. Jan wins, Jan happy. Jan loses, Jan very, very upset. And the problem is that one loss makes me very upset, and you can't fill that hole I have inside by as many wins as you want once the loss is there. I'll be sad. Anyway, we're playing another Mora gambit against Copernicus 15. He went for b6 bishop to b7, which is not a reaction I've seen a lot. I will still play what I believe is the standard Mora gambit setup. Queen e2, rook d1, bishop f4, rook c1, and then try to make some magic happen in the center of the board. Bishop b4, he wants to take on c3, I'm guessing. Which is, it's not stupid. I'll allow it, but I'll be unhappy, as usual. Wow, Pawnholder rubbing it in. Well played, Gustafsson, misspelling the name. Really rubbing it in. Congratulations, Mr. Pawnholder. Queen f6. That looks like a mistake. Because now knight b5 is a bit of an issue. Knight c7 check is threatened. After rook c8, well, I can't see any direct wins. It's still hard for black to finish development without, well, hopefully some casualties. Knight e7, this bishop doesn't have a lot of squares left. So yeah, Copernicus played creatively, but this bishop, queen to f6, I felt was a bit much. Takes on b4, but giving me a piece should make things fairly difficult. C5, what do I do? Bishop e3 or bishop e7? Nah, I'll go here. Yeah. Not really needed, rook d7, but might as well, king d7, knight e5. So he can't take, he should castle, and then I can take another piece on b7. Hopefully ending proceedings. Thanks for the game. Copernicus, number 15. What time is it? Oh, we got time for like 2 more games, probably. What about our boy Ninja Kiwi? Ninja Kiwi 17 from Norway. Another username I have speculated about in the past. I have nothing new. It must be inspired by Fruit Ninja, right? Why else would you call yourself Ninja Kiwi? Thing is, I'll be very upset if I go back and watch my last game against Ninja Kiwi and I've said these same things. But normally, I'm old, so my brain doesn't really develop anymore and come up with new information. So it's gonna be the same associations. Ninja Kiwi will be, oh, are you a ninja from New Zealand? Winton Roofer is from New Zealand. Stephen Adams is from New Zealand. All that stuff. But you're Norwegian, so it must be Fruit Ninja. Are you 17 years old? You know, there's nothing new my brain can come up with at this point. Ninja Kiwi is not here, so we have to abort. It's all the same old, same old. Let us play another one then. Let's go for a contrast and play Framisk Framish. Frami SC. Let's play 1d4. Frami SC 1270. So I should be a favorite. But it looks like he's done his homework. He has heard of the Queen's Gambit Declined, one of the most solid openings you can play, especially at his level. I think that's an excellent choice. Getting a stake in the center and taking it from here. After bishop to g5, bishop e7. e3 castles. Frami SC is doing a lot of reasonable things. Just as I was praising him, I jinxed you, Frami. You went bishop f5, which is a good move in general. You want your bishop outside of the pawn chain. You want me to stop playing bishop d3 or queen c2. But the timing is wrong, because here after bishop f5, bishop takes f6, followed by queen b3, will win me a pawn. And I know this because I won many youth chess games using that very trick. Attacking this pawn and this pawn. So this is not news to me. And I commend your idea, but you need to prepare better. You need to play c6 first at least to stop me from doing all this to you. Yeah. Give me more. Even though now after bishop e6, you could argue that black is some compensation. And you probably would not be wrong arguing that either. Due to the thousands of extra points I have against Frami, I'm not that worried yet, but here rook b8, targeting this pawn, is a decent source of counterplay. He also spots that I was threatening queen h7 checkmate. So, shout out to Frami SC, playing well after, that initial shock. I'm quite happy with my little maneuver here, because after queen h5, I was trying to figure out how I can defend b2. And I thought queen h5 was smart, because after rook b8, I can win a tempo by playing bishop d3, threatening queen h7 checkmate, and after g6, queen e2. Arrange my pieces more or less harmoniously. And continue. He goes rook e8, another sensible move. g4 keeps putting pressure. Frami SC is playing well. Nothing bad I can say. He was threatening bishop takes d4. You know, I love my pawns like Daenerys Targaryen loves her dragons. Therefore, I could not just castle, finish development, and give up the d4 pawn. Still have nothing bad to say. I think Frami is playing much stronger than his rating would indicate. I will probably win, but he still played a good game. He made one mistake in the opening. And once again, I jinxed him. Too much praise is not good for you, Frami. And rook e6, serious mistake. Rook e7 or rook f8 were better choices. And Frami has to resign because he's losing a rook here. But yeah, the lesson to be learned here, the opening is absolutely fine. But don't fall for any queen b3 tricks. If you want to play bishop to f5, you need to prepare by at least c6 so that you can meet queen b3 by queen b6. Therefore, a line I was flirting with for a long time. So start with c6 here. Go after e3, bishop f5. That has its own set of problems, starting with queen to f3. But at least you would be ready to meet queen b3 with queen b6. Well in the game, even though you did well to fight back, queen b3 already poses more or less insurmountable problems. Thanks for the game, Frami SC. Let's play another one. I think the last game for today. Who shall we play? What about Unknown Identity? Ooh, strong player to finish the day. Well, I'm steaming already. Let's see what Unknown Identity, who obviously wants to provoke me, get me steaming by having a dolphin as his avatar. Because I've talked about this plenty. I do consider the dolphins the villains of the sea universe. It's like if there's, how do you call it? Call it a flock of dolphins? A tribe of dolphins? Bunch of dolphins? Like in there you would have a Joker, a Penguin, Catwoman, Mr. Freeze, the Riddler, Hugo Strange. Theo Gallivan. They'd all be evil, is my point. And yeah, I have been watching Gotham, so I know a lot of Batman villains. But, long story short, dolphins are horrible, horrible people. And I'm not just saying that to be facetious or to make some non-standard point. You think they're less threatening than, let's say, sharks, because they look friendly. They're smiling, they don't have sharp teeth. But read up on dolphins. Read up on their rapey activities, what they do to each other, what they do to pretty much anybody else. They're like just mean, mean creatures. And I normally don't like plugging outside websites, but I feel like IHateDolphins.com is a site that has a good cause. And I would like you guys, after you're done watching Banter Blitz, to take a moment, go to IHateDolphins.com and inform yourself on this cause that is costing millions and millions of sea habitants their life every day. I'm reading up on some fun facts about dolphins from Dolphin Fun Facts on IHateDolphins.com. And a lot of the stuff you wouldn't believe, like dolphins pollute the ocean more than any animal alive. Dolphins invented cigarettes. Dolphins are concealing weapons of mass destruction. If you invite a dolphin over for dinner, it will pee on your floor. Dolphins can't fly. The list just goes on and on. So I understand what you're trying to do here, Unknown Identity. I'm not gonna fall for it. I'm not gonna get distracted by your dolphin avatar at all, like looking at random dolphin fun facts and maybe ignoring the game. Nothing could be further from my intentions. Therefore, I will strongly focus on everything that's been going on and will go on. Everything that has and ever will be happening in this game, which so far is a boring equal position. I exchanged the bishops here with bishop a3. Standard equalizer. And he goes cd, which I'm happy to see. Now the game will be a little sharper in the structure after cd, ed. Sometimes black can develop some kingside attack. And hopefully that will make the game a little more fun. He goes rook b1, preparing the good old minority attack, which I could try to fight against, or I could let it happen. Another question that is very common for dolphin victims, like fight them or let it happen. But that's not why we're here. I decided to go a5 to impede b4 a little bit. I have a feeling. I will regret that decision. If I'm not regretting it already. Still. The game continues. As I said, in the structure, black should normally look for his luck on the king side. Use the e4 square. Maybe push your pawns up the board a bit. I wasn't sure if I wanted to include h5, h4 or not. I decided not to in the first step. And it feels like my queen has done her job on. Now he wants to take a knight c5. Boring. That's a bit of a disappointment because now a lot of pieces disappear from the board. I might actually be slightly better in that endgame, but not really what I was dreaming of. He goes h4, interesting. Weird move, but interesting, which is good. I really want to take on e3, rather sooner than later actually. But don't think I can make it happen just yet. So I must first retrace my steps a little bit. Next order of business is knight g4, and then something takes e3. Does that stop me from something takes e3? That'd be a PT. Rook e3, yeah, not clear. Fe. Rook e3 looks fun though. Let's do it. How often do you get to sacrifice a rook against a dolphin lover? My best guess is not very often. I have no idea if this works either. Even knight takes b7 could be, probably should be considered at different junctures. And he goes knight b7. Big champion of chess. Who knew? Why did I do that? Why not knight e3? I was mentally prepared to go rook e3 from earlier, but now I'm no longer sure. Still, I'm threatening rook takes g3, so if he goes knight c5, rook g3, fg, knight e3. Looks pretty good. He plays a better move, however, which is upsetting. Queen d2, good move. Did not see that coming. Yeah, very good move. Ugh. Okay, maybe I should not just idly stare at the position, let my time run out, but actually fight for once. But yeah, I missed queen d2 completely. Now white is clearly fine. Queen f4. Keeps showing off, this guy. Time to speed up a little bit. I want that d4 pawn as a consolation prize. Can I have it? Feels dangerous to take it right here, right now, somehow. I've been so slow today. Every move comes as a total surprise to me as well, which is normally bad news. What do you want? You want rook h1? Interesting. Oh, this guy's just playing well. Well, I'm drifting. Or, as some people would call it, not playing well. FG, ridiculous move, but yeah, really drifting. Out of time too. Have to take a draw if he even wants one. Probably doesn't want one because he's a pawn up and has much better time. Gotta lose his game to Mr. Unknown Identity. Let's fight. Fight, Jan. Yeah, can't complain about escaping with a draw there, really. I like my position earlier, but then, yeah, he played some good defensive moves that I frankly just missed. Starting around here. Rook e3. I thought I was crushing him. I thought it was cute. But, well, my point was after f just to go rook e3 and then take on g3, and I couldn't see how white could stop that. But yeah, knight b7, and then this queen d2 move, which I also missed. He put up very stubborn defense. Probably the position is just roughly equal. And he played faster and better than me all through here. And then in the end, almost looked like he had mercy with steaming Jan, going for the draw when I was low on time and struggling on the board as well. But yeah, got lucky in that one. Good game, Unknown Identity. Good gambit with that dolphin avatar, which of course I think is still a horrible, horrible thing to do. We don't like to joke about dolphins in these parts of the world. So that's it for today. Thank you everybody for watching. Thanks for playing. Beware of dolphins. I personally only eat tuna that was caught dolphin unfriendly. You should try to make your small contribution to the safety of the oceans in that way as well. What will I be doing? I can't even remember. I think we have like an opening clinic next Tuesday maybe. German Banter Blitz on Monday. And yeah, World Cup. Stay tuned. We'll do something. That much I know. What will be determined very soon. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for stopping by. See you next show. Bye.